What is up, YouTube? Today we're going to be going over Prodigy's defense against Cleff the God. Spoiler alert, Prodigy wins 17-0, so he completely shuts out Cleff the God's offense. Fantastic job. Now, later into this video, we're going to be going into the Twitch side of it, going over a couple different clips of Prodigy with his defense and showing you guys the exact things that he was doing and user assignments as well. So there's going to be a lot within this video. But with that being said, we're going to talk about the exact adjustments that he was doing on defense, a couple different looks and some situations that he was in, and then as well as personnel. So he was using the San Francisco 49ers. Essentially, this is a rematch against the Kansas City Chiefs and the San Francisco 49ers. Now, what's so unique about the 49ers? You guys may be wondering that. Why would you use them? They don't have escape artists, and they've only got George Kittle really for passing as far as that's concerned. Well, let me tell you, on defense, they have two pass rush abilities, and they have a zoned out player as well. So Richard Sherman, absolute beast. Yes, he is slow, so he's definitely not somebody that you can be using on the outside to press. He's going to be utilized in the slot or as a safety. The way that Prodigy was running it, he was actually in the big dime 2-3-6, and this is why we're New York Jets. And you would have Richard Sherman in where number 24 is in the slot position. Now, you guys may look at this and say, hey, this looks familiar. This looks really familiar to a formation. The first thing that may come to mind is maybe nickel normal. Another one might be nickel 2-4-5. This is a very similar look with different personnel. Another big advantage between 2-4-5, between any nickel package and the big dime 2-3-6, you have an extra safety, which is huge because you can have a zoned out player in at safety. And on top of that, because it's still a natural safety position, they can get some good animations on the ball. Now you guys are wondering, where's the safety at? Right here. Now, Marcel Harris, you probably want somebody that has some good speed. That's really what you're going to be looking for. Oftentimes, you're going to be using this guy quite frequently. And so, just make sure that he has some speed, especially if you're going to start manning him up to people using the safety or whatever the case may be. So, speed is going to be king. In fact, let's go ahead and check out their personnel or fast. I'm not going to take these starting safeties out of their position to drop them down low. If you guys can have a high zone player or a high man coverage, one of the two, or even a hybrid, that's going to be extremely helpful in this situation. So we go down to free safety. Let's check out their speed stats. Sorry 49ers fans. Tarvarius Moore, I probably just slaughtered that name, has 94 speed, and he's oh my lord, 6'2". Bet. There's your user right there. Tarvarius Moore is going to be there instead. Now, I will say this for you guys that do play MUT, be sure that you just have the best defensive backs you can in the game. Realistically, that's all we're looking for, is as good as you can get. So we're going to go into this big dime 2-3-6. We're going to make a couple different adjustments for our personnel. First and foremost, you're going to have your interior defensive tackles. At least this doesn't really matter, I personally think all too much, but it will help to have two pass rush abilities on your line, whether it be your outside linebackers or your defensive tackles, which are going to be your best pass rushers. Keep in mind, Nick Bosa is one of them, and then the other one does not start. He is D Ford. He has pass rush ability, so we're going to go ahead and sub these two guys in right there. Now, as far as middle linebacker is concerned, Fred Warner has zoned out. Keep in mind, I'm saying this a lot, linebackers do not react the same as they have in previous Maddens. If you guys are thinking you can get them to warp to the ball like you could in Madden 19, you're going to be greatly disappointed unless you have the ability Lurker. Lurker will get you some of those crazy animations, but again, not all the time. This is Madden 20. We all know how crazy this game can be. So we're going to have Fred Warner right there because he's going to be playing a 3-rec hook. I'm not going to talk too much about how the 3-rec hook works. I've got a video, a full defensive guide that specifically breaks down the 3-rec hook and how it goes about. So that will be in the description. Check it out. But then we're going to go ahead and change this up. We're going to put Richard Sherman, take him from the outside, and we're going to put him in at the slot. Again, since Richard Sherman does not have high press nor high speed, and he is not a good man covering corner, do not expect him to cover man at all. You're really not going to want him outside against like somebody like Tyreek Hill, for example. If you press, he's going to get burned over the top. I think he has like 86 speed. Let's go check his stats out real fast too, so we know exactly what we're talking about here. So we're going to go down to our cornerbacks. We're going to check out Richard Sherman. So 88 speed. You think about it. Let's do the math here. Let's do a little bit of math. I know Mecole Hardman, 96 speed. Tyreek Hill, 99 speed. Sammy Watkins, 91 speed. They're all faster than Richard Sherman. You press, you're getting burned over the top. Now, he is a fantastic zone corner, and we're going to be utilizing him a little bit in zone. So we're going to go into the big dime 236, and you're going to go either into the cover one hole, or you're going to go, where is it? He had a little bit of issue. Or the cover one robber show 2. Now, one thing to note with this cover one robber show 2, instead of a linebacker being in the 3-rec hook, it's going to drop your safety down into the 3-rec hook instead. Be careful about doing this, because if you do not have the proper adjustments, you can get bombed over the top very easily. We're going to talk about that a little bit later on in this video, but we're going to go into the cover one robber show 2. So we're going to go ahead and select that, and we're going to be going against the West Coast gun bunch. I'm not going to worry too much about the offensive side of the ball. Let's just go into wide receiver post. We're going to talk about a few different adjustments and some situations that Prodigy found himself in, and some common themes that he would do. First off, I've got notes written down right here. I have to take notes, otherwise I'm forgetting some stuff. Oftentimes you'll find him in 1st and 10 being in a cover 2 shell. Almost exclusively cover 2, with the exception is he's always going to press. So we're going to go ahead and set this cover 2 up. I don't know if you can put this guy to a deep half. You can, so we'll do this. And this is something that he would do. Where's the outside third? Is he would do something like this, except have this guy on a deep half left. And do something equivalent to this. So this 3-rec hook right here, what is so glitchy about this is it is a second user. The thing to keep in mind with 236 is not known for a blitz. Some of you guys may think, well, yeah, it is. There's a difference. You have 236 Will / Sam, and then you have, some people like to think the big dime 146 and then $326. Those you can some blitzes out of. The big dime 236, you're looking for interior shreds. Hence why we have Nick Bosa and D Ford at our defensive tackle. We need the pressure to get home. If you can have good outside rushing linebackers, fantastic. It's going to be extremely helpful to get the pressure home. You're going to really need to be able to have 2 D-line abilities to make this an effective thing against a gun bunch player. Otherwise, you're going to find that you're almost never going to get any sort of pressure. Hence why Prodigy was using the 49ers. So this is a setup that he would give Cleff frequently. Now, the reason that we're going to go ahead and press is just in case if there is a corner out. And keep in mind, this is simulating a 1st and 10. This is what Prodigy would do almost every single time. Sometimes he would even add X into a soft squat, just in case there's an out route or whatever on that same side of the field. So the soft squat can match vertically, but then he can also play to the flats. That was kind of a variable thing that he would do. Almost always he'd have him just straight up manned up on 1st and 10. Now, referring back to my notes, we're going to go to another example of 3rd and long, 2nd and long situations. So 3rd and 12, we're going to clips right after this explaining what's going to go on and what his mindset is. But 3rd and 12, in any kind of medium down situation, he's going to go ahead and play a cover 2 for the most part. And again, press. Any compressed set, and this is just going to go across the board, whether it be tight offset, tight end, or gun bunch tight end. You guys name it. You've probably seen it, even tight slots weak. You're always going to want to press out of a compressed set, whether it be bunch, tight offset, tight slots weak, etc. Reason being is because generally the press is a little bit cleaner, and you don't have to worry all too much about just getting streaked over the top, especially after they secretly nerfed some fade routes in the game. So we don't really have to worry about that all too much. But 3rd and medium, this is a look that he'd be giving his opponent, is having a cloud flat on the bunch side. Also, one thing to mention, I'm looking down because I'm looking at my notes. One thing that's important is 3rd and long, 3rd and 12, 3rd and 15, those kind of situations. He's playing these sticks. Now, you guys are wondering, what does play the sticks do? There's a couple things it does. Play the sticks, if we're in a cover 4 palms or quarters, it gets rid of the match principle. But then also, if it's a cover 2 or any other kind of zone, it says, hey, I want you guys to play the 1st down marker. So for example, if it's 3rd and 15 and you kind of expect a corner out, you can hit play the sticks on a cloud flat, and they're going to play it a little bit better. Though keep in mind, if they do roll out, they're still going to be coming and crashing down for whatever the reason may be. So they're good for a temporary defense, but again, as we were talking about, you need the pressure to get home before they're able to roll out. If you can contain and have a spy out there, it's going to be completely shut down. So this is a look that he's going to give. Again, we're almost never going to use this 3-rec hook because it's another user. It helps us with the middle of the field. Link in the description explaining all that. So let's just go ahead. We're going to snap this ball. I'm just going to go ahead and let this run as is. So right here, again, we're going to go up that receiver, and you can see we've got it all bagged up. Now, the 3-yard cook, let's say they're to put him, I'm going to just do a little crazy thing right here. They're to put this outside receiver on another drag. I want you guys to pay attention to the 3-yard cook right here. So let's go ahead, set this up the same exact way that we've been setting it up. Again, I'm not like super fast at getting these adjustments down, but something like this. We'll press, we're going to play the sticks, and let's just watch this 3-yard cook work. So he takes the post, comes back down eventually to play the drags as well. So he occupies the middle of the field very, very well. And that's what's nice about a 3-yard cook, is it can play so many different routes at once. They really don't have to worry about that, and you can just leave that to the 3-yard cook. And in certain formations, sometimes he'll even match to the flats completely, as long as there's no other threat in the middle. So you will find that he will match. So there's one other situation that there's one other thing that he would do as well that I want to talk about, and that is he would change it with a cover 3. Again, I'm looking down because I have notes all written down. So this is something that he would do in long down situations. I'm talking like 4th and 15, 4th and 12. Okay, this is more so 4th and medium, 4th and long situations. Is he would change this again. We're gonna go and press. He'd change this into a cover 3. Do something like this, or he would even do something like this. So let's go ahead and reset again. We're wanting to keep that 3-yard cook. You guys may be thinking, you don't really know this all too well. I'm practicing this with you guys, so bear with me on that one. So again, we want to make sure that we leave this 3-yard cook, and he'd put a cloud flat on that side and play the sticks. That will help. It kind of helps prevent cover 3 bombs. Not always. There are ways to glitch out cover 3, but this is another example that he would get. So this is like a 4th and medium, 4th and long situation. Again, we're just trying to prevent from getting bombed over top. You can see right there, the 3-yard cook's able to play both the drag and the post route. The drag's completely smothered by the man coverage, and then we're able to pass. The 3-yard cook passes off the deep crosser to us, and we're able to manually take it away. In that situation, this play in and of itself is a cover 3 beater. So let's go ahead and go into instant replay and break this down. So a stock cover 3 against this is going to get beat over the top. You can see right here what happens is this outside there gets sucked down. And if they're any further, you could probably fit over the top. So in this case, you may want to deep half if you kind of expect a cover 3 beater, so they don't get sucked down by that deep crossing route whatsoever, and you're able to drop back into coverage. One thing also as well, this is kind of going to be the final part before we get into the clip portion of it. This guy right here, we were talking about a little bit about personnel and having speed. If you can have somebody that's fast, it's going to be extremely helpful to get him back into coverage as quickly as possible. Keep in mind that this is a too high safety look, and so it almost looks like a cover 3 because of how this guy is pressed. This guy over here is a little bit more pressed than the other. So this almost looks like a cover 3 cloud kind of look, where this guy might drop into an outside third, middle third, outside third. And then this guy over here, cloud flat. This guy right here, curl flat. That's kind of a cover 3 cloud, what you may get right there. But we're going to go ahead and, as always, just change this up. Remember, this guy right here needs to have high speed. So let's take a timeout. I'm going to go back into the depth chart. We're going to double check the people, because I have a terrible memory sometimes. I got bad memory. So we're going to go ahead back into this. Check it out. Let's see. I remember Tarvarius Morgan, 49ers fans. I'm sorry. I'm not an Irish fan. I don't know any of the players besides Richard Sherman and Garoppolo, which, yeah, that's about it. So we're going to go ahead, re-choose this. So we're going to go, where is it? Tarvarius Moore, 94 speed, 6'2". He's going to be able to get back there, make a play on the ball. He doesn't have high zone coverage. He doesn't have high man coverage. We're just looking to have high speed and some good height as well, so he doesn't get mossed as easily. He's able to ideally moss Tyreek Hill instead. So there's some adjustments behind it. Again, really quick overview. In 1st and 10, even 1st and 5, it kind of depends. 1st and short, if it was a penalty, he'd play a cover 2 with the cloud flat on that side of the field and wouldn't play the sticks too often, leaving that 3-yard cook there. Don't touch it. Leave it alone. And then 3rd and medium, 4th and medium or long, he's going to be playing a cover 3. 3rd and long, he'd be playing a cover 2 with the outside third and a cloud flat sometimes. Most often, you'll find that he's going to be playing straight up man defense with a press. 4th and medium, such as 4th and 12 and longer, he's going to be playing a cover 3 with a cloud flat, play the sticks on the bunch side. So now we're going to go ahead. You're not going to see me anymore, but we're going to go ahead and continue this with some clips that we found on Twitch from the DreamHack tournament with Prodigy versus Cleff the God. So we're going to go ahead and switch on over. We'll be right back. All right, so here we go. Talking a little bit about early on. We're going to be having a little bit of a cover 2 with Clop Flat, play the sticks. This is going to be a pretty popular thing you'll see Prodigy to do. We were talking about earlier on with play the sticks and Clop Flats. Essentially, there's two things. Real quick review. Play the sticks tells them to play the first down marker for both deep zones and Clop Flats. Keep in mind, Clop Flats, if they do roll out, same thing as always, they're going to be able to drop the Clop Flat down and hit the over top stuff with the corner route. So it's not an absolute guarantee, but certainly a way that Prodigy used to be able to help contain these corner routes. So here at 3rd and 12, obviously, gun bunch. Everybody knows how it runs. Sorry about the lag. I think it's just a little bit of Twitch's thing going on right now. As we discussed, Fred Warner, he actually makes a interesting change right here. Notice that. He has him on pass rush. I don't really agree with that, but you can see right here again, bagged. This is going to be a user error. Eventually, later on, you'll see he's going to come back to that same play. But because he was able to play a deep half, essentially cover 2 with manned up on that lone side receiver, he was able to bag it up with a play these sticks. Now, this 4th and 2, we're going to go ahead and let this play out as well, or 4th and 12. Right here, 4th and 12, we talked about earlier. If you remember from earlier in the video, we talked about how he's going to play a cover 3 majority of the time for 4th and medium, 4th and long. Cover 3 is going to be a good way against gun bunch to really try and prevent a first down, not a turnover, but a continuous first down. It's going to be the most effective way to really try and send the pressure. But remember, in 2-3-6, we're not really looking to send a blitz at them. We're looking for our guys to shed. I still think it's interesting that he put his zoned out linebacker right there instead of in the zone, but you know, that's just my opinion. So 3 stars on D-line, maybe some of the best players he has. But again, right here, 3rd with the Clop Flat on bunch side. Very, very important there. Play the stick so he doesn't drop down if he is to roll out. He'll stay up top at the first down marker. We'll go ahead and let him snap the ball. Anytime somebody motions over, most times you can almost always expect, and this is just the trash play right here, it offensive breakdown tremendously. But anytime in gun bunch specifically, I want to pause about this, that they motion over, they're almost never going to streak. It's always a slant, a post. In that case, it was a 10-yard, a smart route, a dig route is what it was. Or even just a drag. It's always some sort of route that goes back into the middle of the field to occupy the user. In that case, Prodigy had him in the bag. There was really nothing much more Prodigy could have done. You may hear IB Strafen saying he had to choose it. No. I have to really disagree with IB Strafen right there. And that was just a broken play, lucky play, bailout right there. So we're going to go ahead and skip a little bit more. We're not really going to be going too far, but right about here-ish. This is going to be a 3rd and 11. Right now it's 2nd and 24. He gains 13 yards, make it 3rd and 11. This is going to be getting us down into the red zone. So 5 yards into the red zone, he takes off Patty Mahomes. Really nothing too worried right there. Again, Clef the God gets bailed out, and Prodigy pretty pissed off, rightfully so. Here we go, though. 3rd and 11. 2 things are going to happen in the red zone as a passer. The number one thing you have to worry about are running backs on a wheel route out of mesh post. Here's how mesh post works. Out route, keep the wheel route. You don't hot route that, or you don't change it. Just keep the wheel route flat, hitched from the slot, and post over the top. That's mesh post. That's how almost everybody runs mesh post. You'll see right here he plays clop flat, deep half, user the middle of the field. Vertical hook. It's right there, bam. That was actually a 3-rec hook, not a vertical. But a lot of people are going to be saying that was the right read. The problem is when you get that close to the red zone or that close to the end zone, it's really, really difficult to fit the wheel route, especially if a good click on it. It's going to be very difficult to fit the wheel route in because the deep half, it doesn't really have too much to worry about. They don't play corner routes, and so they're going to work their way to the inside. And if you're able to click on, you're going to be able to make a play on the ball. So right there, pretty much for most part, stock cover 2. He came out in a cover 1. Cover 1, one thing to say was cover 1 robber. And then he just, I think it was just a plain old cover 1 with a 3-rec hook. Change the man into zones, deep halves, cloud flats. 3-rec hook plays the wheel route for a brief second. A vertical will not play it right there. A 3-rec, as you saw earlier, plays it slightly, and then he was able to click on and get the pick. So again, Cleff, with those 2 bailouts, finally Prodigy gets the redemption he was looking for. So we're going to go ahead and just skip on to the last play, pretty much what I consider the last play to really seal this game. We'll go right about here. So, oops, that's actually a little too far. Right about there. This is good. We're going to be really focusing on the 4th and 10. I'm not worried so much about the 2nd and 13, 3rd and whatever, 3rd and 15, whatever it may be, 16. We're really concerned about the 4th and 10. Remember that Prodigy oftentimes on long down situations, in this game in particular, long downs, he would play thirds. In 3rd and 16, he has nowhere to go to, so he's going to scramble, try to make a play with Patty Mahomes, slides, and gets him down to about 4th and 10. So right here, Prodigy actually ends up changing the defense. This is something that's really important when you're playing a good Madden player, is to not stick in the same defense, but to be consistent at the same time. At this point, Prodigy cannot give up a touchdown. The reason he'd be playing a cover 3 is more of a bend, don't break style of defense. When we play bend, don't break, we're okay with letting them drive down the field, but eventually we're either going to force them to really get stingy on defense and then take away the stuff that they've been constantly looking for, or just take the ball away completely. Bend, don't break. In this case, he switches gears. At this point, you cannot let him score a touchdown. You can't let Cleff the God get back into this game. So you're not worried so much about corners of taking those away as you are more so about a one-play touchdown against the cover 3. Cleff the God up to this point has never shown that. He has tried it. It's not been open. So Prodigy's been playing good defense. In this case, he's going to put deep half, middle third. And I believe the rest for the most part are going to be pretty much classic man coverage with a cloud flat. So we're going to go ahead, let this play out, play the sticks, shade over the top. You don't want to get beat. You really don't at this point, you don't care too much about giving up a first down. You've been playing some lights out defense. So he goes cover 1 hole here. Deep half, middle third. Takes away the 3-rec hook. He's okay with giving up this underneath stuff. So this guy's middle third. This might be a cloud flat over here. Play the sticks. Again, play the sticks. There's your first down marker. You tell him to play that specifically. Bam, passes it off. Comeback route. Bag, double coverage, playmaker upfield because Cleff has nothing else to throw to. Cloud flat with a man up, completely smothered, and that is essentially what seals the game with Prodigy. In that case, it was a cover 2, play the sticks, middle third. That's a classic cover 2 that you guys are going to see a lot of. Cleff expected a cover 3, hence why he had that comeback route. Earlier in the game, he noticed that Prodigy liked to run a cover 3 a lot and would oftentimes either leave that guy as a man up on that side of the field or just a straight up outside third. So he's expecting that comeback route to get open. Prodigy, remember, he changed his defense into cover 2 play the stick, so comeback route won't match with the cloud flat. Cloud flat smothers it, and then Cleff is essentially forced to throw it to whoever was not open. So that's going to take care of this little breakdown of the mindset of Prodigy. The biggest takeaways from this are, at first, you're looking to play a bend, don't break style of defense, but when you're up X amount of points in the 4th quarter, you're playing to make it more difficult for them to drive downfield quickly. In that case, you saw Prodigy played a cover 2. He was playing a cover 3 quite a bit. Cleff the God expected that, tried a cover 3 beater, nothing was open, and he ends up throwing it into coverage for the game. So, if you guys are new to the channel, if you want more breakdowns of this, be sure you check out the Patreon down below in the description, where we'll be going over some more games later on as well over there. And until next time, guys, get in the lab. This has been T Meister. See ya.